Hi, I'm Michael Tanenhaus. I'm CEO of Mavenspire. We are a technology consulting firm. And over the decades of my career, more than 20 years in aggregate, I have been working with our clients on all sorts of interesting technological challenges. I have a ton of experience in data center technologies, including compute and storage and networking. And through that time, I have learned 6 truths about technology. So these truths guide how we approach working with our clients, how we govern our company, and how we stay relevant as technology advances at such a rapid pace. The first truth is that today's fast is tomorrow's slow. It's inevitable that technology gets bigger and faster in each turn of the clock. I have an 11-year-old who was lamenting just the other day that the 3-year-old tablet computer he was using was a fossil and so slow. And he wondered how that would relate to me, whether I was a fossil too. Well, the truth is that I started where 300 baud modems were actually pretty fast, and watched that progress from 9600 and 14.4 and 56K modems. And if I have that conversation in most IT organizations today, most of the time the question I get is, what is a modem or what is a baud? So, we have way moved past that into megs and gigs and hundreds of gigs. Current network technology is up to 800 gigs per second, 800 gigabits per second. That's amazing when you compare just 10 years from 10 meg to 800. Whether we're moving into the petabyte or the zettabyte world, the truth is that there will always be something bigger and always be something faster just around the corner. The second truth is that there will always be more data. We are seeing that data has really become almost a monetary currency. Your data is not just the memory of an organization, but it's also its most valuable asset. And because of that, the amount of data being collected and the amount of data being stored is accelerating at an exponential rate. People talk about big data, and this is a marketing term used to kind of help people to understand that their data was very valuable. And it's not really big data that concerns people these days. It's what comes next, the humongous data after it, even the WTF data that might come after that. When we are looking at what we are storing today, I think today the world is around 30 zettabytes of storage, and by 2025, depending on whose prediction you follow, it's going to be somewhere between 90 and 150 zettabytes in 5 years. It's just astounding. The third truth is that technology, for all of its flash and glamour and usefulness, is just a tool. You still need the human element that can see the vision of what's to come. The tools help support realizing the vision. But without the vision, the technology is just beautiful tools sitting in the garage waiting for a project. Truth number 4 is that if you don't have a destination, no amount of technology is going to help you. So I'm a little bit of a science fiction fan buff in the movie and reading genres. And there's a movie out there called Stargate. And in that movie, there's a scene where they talk about how to plot a course in 3-dimensional space, you need 7 points. 6 points define the attributes to your destination, and 1 point tells you where you're starting from. The same is true in achieving a goal or modernizing a business or whatever you can envision. You need to know where your destination is, and you need to know where you're starting from, so you can plot the places along the way you're going to have to stop and overcome a challenge. This is where technology can help, not just configuring out those base camps, but how to overcome those challenges and get you to your destination. When you sit down and you talk to a lot of clients for the first time, they go straight to the pain or straight to the technology, and they don't really take the time to stand back and think about the destination. And bringing that back is one of the unique things that Mavenspire brings to the conversation when we start an engagement with a client or a potential client. We're looking at the destination and mapping the technology to it. The fifth truth is that everything is software defined. When we innovate technology, a lot of times the newest technology comes out as hardware. And the reason for that is we're generally breaking the bounds of what was thought to be possible. And to do it, we have to do it in hardware. But we've reached a time and a place where the speed of hardware is so fast that the true innovation is happening at the software layer. Software, by its very nature, is flexible. It can be changed, it can be expanded, and the physical boundaries of a single piece of hardware no longer apply. So whether you're talking about the change from hardware to software in the cellular networks that allowed us to have number portability and allows somebody to move from California to New York and keep the same phone number, or whether we're talking about the ability to have computing resources all over the world come together to solve problems like medical research or artificial intelligence, or even if we're just looking at ways to automate our house so that when you say Alexa, something happens. All of these come from the software-defined universe. The last truth is we're just getting started. In my lifetime, I have seen technology shift at a hugely fast pace. But truthfully, if you go back in time even a little more, you've seen that the real limitation of technology has been how fast our culture can absorb the change, starting with books like Frankenstein and politics around people like Galileo, and moving forward in time, the speed of change is only accelerating. The things we take for granted from the 1990s and the 2000s and that which just came out last year is just amazing. And it's going to continue to move faster than an exponential pace. And the truth will then be, are we able to keep? When the World Wide Web first came out, I designed a website for my employer at the time. And it was the very first thing out there. It was very early web code where really it was more like online documentation than anything else. And at the time, I could never have imagined our culture would shift so greatly so that the way we view and understand the world is based on what we can find on the web and what we can find in social media. The entire North Star of our society has shifted. Similarly, I'm an avid fan of the original Star Trek and many of its followers, and it's been more than a little amusing to watch in the last 5 years the dawn of the universal translator, 3D printing evolving into the ability to build houses and food and really kind of be the replicator, and us now understanding how to move faster and faster and push the bounds of interstellar travel. We're really just getting started.